Hello, friends. Chip Studer reporting in here from my home in Franklin County. So far, so good for me and mine. Just following the protocols, keeping our hands clean, doing what we're told to protect ourselves against this coronavirus. You know, I've been watching our president on cable news channels, and he's been referring to himself as a wartime president. He says that he's in a battle against an invisible enemy. Imagine that. He's in a battle against an invisible enemy. You know, as I think about that, I can't help but draw the parallel to the spiritual battle that we've been in all the time. You see, we've been in a battle against an invisible enemy for as long as we've been on earth. And it's a battle that will continue for a long time until Jesus comes and returns, whenever that happens. And so let me tell you what the Bible has to say about all this. If we look here in Ephesians in chapter 6, it says, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in heavenly places." You see, we're in a battle. It's a spiritual battle. We have an enemy, an invisible enemy, just like this coronavirus that is attacking us all over the world. There's a spiritual battle that's been going on for a long time against an invisible enemy. So what can I do to protect myself against this invisible enemy? Well, here in the Word, it tells us, "Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day. And having done all to stand, stand therefore." And it goes on to list a whole series of steps that we can take to protect ourselves against this invisible enemy. Hey, why don't you turn off the TV for a few minutes? You've got some time. Open up your Bibles to Ephesians chapter 6 and read for yourself. Learn about this invisible enemy and learn about the steps that you can take to protect yourself against this evil, this wickedness, this invisible enemy that all of us have. Let's skip over to the Old Testament here for just a second and take a look at what the psalmist has to say. In the 24th Psalm, this question is asked: "Who may ascend into the hill of the Lord, or who may stand in his holy place?" And then the psalmist answers his own question. He says, "He who has clean hands and a pure heart." You see, those of us who are followers of Jesus Christ are getting ready to celebrate his ministry and the work that he did here on earth. You see, a long time ago, God made himself visible as in the form of his Son, Jesus Christ, who came to earth to live here, a fairly simple life. And then at the end of his life, in the last 3 years of his life, he had a ministry amongst a few people in a certain part of the world. And then he would die a cruel death and go to the cross and shed his blood that would be used as a cleansing agent to cleanse us all from our sin. Those of us who would accept that free gift would have that opportunity. And we don't have to fear death because of that. But you see, the truth is, we can still be carriers of this sickness, this disease we call sin. And we need to be cleansed on a regular basis from this invisible enemy, this wickedness, this evil that's all around us. You see, we've been exposed to it, and maybe you're not showing any symptoms. Maybe you're not actively pursuing sin. But the truth is that as long as we live here on earth, all of us are exposed to it. And so we don't want to be carriers of that sickness, that disease that's affected us, our emotions and our minds and our circumstances. And so we need to be cleansed daily. Peter, in his letters that are recorded in the Bible, talks about the washing of the water with the Word. And so we need to stay daily. We need to cleanse ourselves by reading this book, the Bible, by staying close to God. And so it's important for us to keep our hands clean with soap and water, especially right now. But it's even that much more important that we cleanse ourselves in a spiritual way. Read the Bible. Hey, that's just my 2 cents worth. I hope it helps you today.